Hello, my friends, sisters, and brothers. How many of you have heard the expression, behind every successful man is a woman? Some have said behind or beside or in front of every successful man or great man is a woman. Well, I've heard that, and I'm sure that you have. But when I think about people that impressed me, I look at their women, because the kind of men that impressed me were, let's start with Jesus. Now, they have said that Jesus was never married. And then it was said that he was married. And then it was said that he never lived. So we won't dwell on Jesus. But I did hear that Abraham Lincoln was married. I don't know too much about his wife. Some have said he was a great man. Some have said he was a traitor. And I'm sure each and every last one of us are guilty of everything that we are accused of in some form or fashion. So it's okay if he wasn't perfect. I think about the movies that I saw about Gandhi. Now, I don't really know Gandhi except what I read or watched. But the impression has been given that Gandhi, recognizing the despicable situation that poverty reflects, and it is designed, and being a wise man led by and respected a spirit, when I say spirit, something that's not seen, and he becomes the evidence thereof, that he's not going to be bound to no man treating him like they wanted to treat him in order to say that they were successful, in order to walk around and be decent, what we call decent, by lifting up someone else as superior. And he wasn't going for that. So I remember in some scene in the movie, they said he told his wife that she had to clean the latrelles. Now, if you guys don't know what a latrelle is, those of you from the South, it's an outside toilet. And she married a lawyer. What? Cleaning a toilet outside? You got to be kidding. Well, the information goes he wanted to throw her out for that she thought she was superior to other women. Well, we know the story of Gandhi. Regardless of how genuine he might have been, how representative he might have been, a representative of a spirit of change, there was something here that did not want to change. And they were willing to take him down. They were willing to kill him like the devils they are, than to allow Gandhi to exist. Well, I guess his wife, she didn't leave him, so the story goes. But and I also understand she started cleaning the toilets. Now, let's bring it a little bit closer. A lot of Americans, some of them, not all of them, idolize Malcolm X. Now, we understand that Malcolm X's life of being truthful brought him to the pit of being poor. And the reason is because he would not submit to the system that says if you want anything out of life, you got to come down off that horse. You can't represent spirit. You're going to have to represent man. When he wouldn't do it, his wife would say, hey, what are bills? We got to get paid. Everybody else is doing it. What's wrong with you? And Malcolm couldn't do it. But they still said he was a great man. And then when I look back at the life of Dr. King as it has been presented to us, he has been recognized somewhat as a successful man, a great man. They got a statue of him down there in Washington. I'm telling you, some big dude. But I also think that the story went that she wasn't excited about that. She had her education. She was a musician, singer. There were great things to be done in this world. But he out there trying to think about po folks. She wasn't really going for that, but somehow they stayed together. I hear somebody say Dr. King was having a lot of affairs with other women. I don't know if that's true, nor do I care. I know he was taking care of business. And as such, a lot of black folks got a chance to vote. They lost a lot of other stuff over time, but they did get a chance to vote. And why do they have the problems? Because the system has said you are not bending down, recognizing us as superior. Wow. Well, I think about all those men who have been considered great or not. And I think about the 40 years that I've been out here in this wilderness. I think about the 36 years that I've been out here struggling, trying to bring a message to the American people. And as I reflect back on it, I can only say that there were a couple of people I ran across in my life that could support a conversation. T.S., you got to give that brother some recognition. He's down for the cause. There were a couple other brothers down. I don't want to mention their names because I'm not sure whether they are serious about that. I'm only saying about T.S. because I've seen him doing it for so long. And there is a sister by the name of Simone Adams. I don't know if she's alive or dead now, but that was one sister. Boy, I sure wish our paths could meet again. I know we could do some stuff together because she wasn't playing. She was taking care of business. And her business was the same business that I was in. I don't know whether she thought it was God or whether she just thought it was righteous. But anyway, other than that, I got thousands of videos produced for YouTube, MySpace, Facebook, Instagram, because that's all I got to talk to. I can't talk to preachers about joy of life and freedom. I can't talk to leaders about prosperity to the degree that there is no more poverty. I can't talk to anybody about changing our society to the degree, and I say to the degree that they are committed to being active in that process. No, man, you can get some lip service, but people ain't doing nothing. And so I have my first wife, been married twice. My first wife, not that it's important, but I just mentioned it to you anyway. She decided that if I'm looking about trying to end poverty and caring about poor folks rather than just us getting our cut, then she didn't want to have anything to do with me, so she ran. The second girl I married, we've been together for 37 years. And she's been sticking with me. But I can't get a conversation. I don't think in the 37 years that I have been out here talking about the things that you hear me talking about right now, I don't think in the 36 years I've had a decent conversation with her about it. Maybe one. I remember before we got married, she was a little skinny girl. She had graduated from college, I think somewhere around about 23. Now she's 21 or 22. At the time I met her, she was about 23 years old. And she was skinny. I asked her why she was so skinny. Now, just to qualify this, I met her in church bringing some messages now, talking about God. Man, that got my attention. I don't think I ever met a girl in church before like that. Talking about God, and so that got my attention initially. So as we met and had conversation, I asked her one day why she was so skinny. She told me that she didn't think it was smart for people all over the world to be suffering, not having enough to eat, this and that. And she walking around fat, bloated from eating so much. So she was doing it as her commitment to do something about poverty, if it was nothing more than making sure that she didn't eat up everything. And that really blew my mind. Well, I can say this, a woman, if you want to try to get a little description of, you know how you're supposed to be when you go to church, you're a Christian, and you really try to do all the right things. You're out here not deliberately abusing. You're not making too much fuss. You're doing nothing to distract or to get the attention of the system. You basically are not doing that, but you're trying to be a good, kind person within those perimeters. That's what she's doing. That's what most Americans do. That's what most of you guys do. But that kind of conduct allows everything in the world that's wrong to happen, because that's what you put up with. You go along with it. These things don't just happen. There is a cause, and the people who just go along with stuff don't care about the cause. They just make sure they don't get in it. And to me, That is what destroys the world. And yes, I want to be somebody great. I want to be somebody great. I'll tell you. Yeah, you want to know, Eddie just want to be somebody great. Yes, I want to be somebody great. And to me, there's nothing greater than love, to the degree that you understand it. Now, I'm not the greatest lover in the world, but I believe that every human being on the face of the earth is blessed by being here by the same power that put me here. I believe that every last one of them got desires just as I do. Might not be the same ones, but they got them. And because they got them, they can be met because the provider has done their job, that job, to make sure that we have to suffer for nothing as long as we're walking down the right path. I believe that with all my life. I mean, I guess I always believed it, but I wasn't committed to it because I was just like everybody else. Give me mine. Y'all better get smart. Now I realize, I don't care how smart you get, you're going to need some divine guidance. And a lot of times God can't reach other individuals, but God can show a miracle to some. And it is one that receives that miracle. It is incumbent upon them to walk according to the understanding of the existence of a God. Now you're not bound by the system. Now you're not bound by whatever race that's been over you. Now you're not bound by riches or poverty. You are a free man of God. You know that everything that exists belongs to God for the purpose of human beings. And all things belong to human beings for whatever benefit they need, want, or desire to be. And only the devil will try to prevent it. And only a blind one would allow the devil that kind of power. And so, yes, I don't want to give the devil that power any longer. And that means to stand up to the devil, I got to be a great man, to care about others. Then you got your money right, baby. I want to be great. Now, right now, I'm walking down here in this garden. Look like I'm seeing something green. I don't know if it's a hose or a piece of a snake. So I'm just going to take my dog by the hand. And we're going to turn around and go another way. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for this time. Ooh, I talked a long time. Goodbye.